Belize is one of the fastest developing countries in Central America. Its biggest industry is tourism, and many resorts and boutique hotels capitalize on the nation's lush forests and beautiful Caribbean coast. Real estate developers Kathy and David want to open their own exclusive resort and are looking to purchase a Belizean island.
We've had a lot of success here in Belize with our existing properties. We have a really nice high-end product, and we just kind of want to take that to another level.
One of the great benefits of being on an island is obviously there's no noise, there's nobody around, it's romantic, it's private, and we're really looking forward to that.
Joined by island expert Chris Crollo of Private Islands, Inc., the couple will journey to some of the world's most beautiful real estate.
Your own private island with your own reef.
You can't ask for much more than that, can you?
How will these pristine properties measure up?
David, your boat over there is looking awful tiny right now.
Chris, come on now.
Find out as Island Hunters explores Belize. David and Kathy have been married for over 15 years and have spent the last 6 years flying back and forth between their home near Dallas, Texas, and their rental properties in Placencia, Belize.
Belize and Placencia especially have a great laid-back feeling. Everything moves a little slower, the people are friendly and gracious wherever you go. David and I have had a lot of success with our existing properties here. We have some really nice high-end homes.
I think the obvious next logical choice would be to go do that on an island.
To assist in their search, island expert Chris Crollo of Private Islands, Inc. has traveled down to the coastal village of Placencia to meet with David and Kathy and go over their criteria.
What does this island have to have?
So we are definitely interested in having a private island close to the reef so our guests can snorkel, fish, dive very easily with easy access. I know our guests are all going to want a sandy, natural beach. It would be a very appealing option to find something partially or close to done so we could use it more often.
So how much do you want to spend on this?
We could go up to 6 or even 7 million for the right project.
And the right project, Chris.
So you're willing to buy a $3-4 million island and spend a few million in development?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we do down here, so we're not scared of that.
Are you ready to go do some island hunting?
We are.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
What a great day for it. Cheers. We are in beautiful Belize. If you want to invest in a Central American country, this is it. It has a 300-kilometer-long barrier reef, so that means snorkeling, diving, and some of the most world-class private islands.
For their first tour, Chris is taking David and Kathy to Little Harvest Caye, a conveniently located island just minutes from Placencia.
Welcome to Little Harvest Caye.
Wow.
Nice.
I know when we approach, you're probably thinking the island's a little small.
Well, yeah, we were kind of thinking that.
You wanted location and you wanted beach. Little Harvest has both. In fact, we're not even a mile away from Placencia. This place is almost finished, but you'll see, when you look at all of the little details, the current owner spent a lot of money and a lot of sweat making this place what it is today. The island's a little on the small side. It's about 1.5 acres, but you're gonna love the price. At $2.25 million, you're way under budget.
Wow.
I do like the price.
We'd have some definite extra cash to do some things. Love the location. That's really would make for a fun trip to be able to go into town at a moment's notice.
Let's go check out the rest of the island.
Sounds great.
All right, right up this way. This is like the main palapa area.
Wow.
Small island, but huge palapa. I mean, this is where everybody would be spending most of their time.
Absolutely.
Look at this, all handcrafted, everything sourced right here. There's about 7,000 square feet under roof. I think you can really sort of picture what you've got here.
We really can.
No, it's interesting, definitely. Wow.
A pretty fair-sized pool for such a small island.
Yes, that is not something you see on a lot of private islands in Belize.
And the tile work is mosaic, nice.
It's a freshwater pool, and it's coming from Placencia. There's a pipe underneath the water.
Oh, wow.
Big deal, because that saves you a lot of power.
Well, speaking of energy, so where's the power coming from then?
We have 180 solar panels, and I'm telling you, this place will never have an electricity bill.
This is a very nice commercial kitchen. The finishes look amazing. The granite, it's big.
What I love about this kitchen is it truly is an industrial kitchen, but it doesn't look like one.
No.
Really doesn't.
You've got all these propane, high-end appliances. Even the fridge is propane.
Yeah, I like how it ties to the bar, and it just seems like it'd be a good place to entertain and have some fun.
Oh my, this is so unique. I've never seen anything like this.
Unless you're 20 feet tall, you don't have a problem with privacy.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And the breeze is amazing. It feels like it's air conditioned.
And you have the Belizean feel, but with these high-end finishes.
Walk-in shower,
This
inside,
is beautiful.
Wow.
and then even a little bit more outside.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Believe it or not, this is not the first time that I've been in a shower with clients.
I don't doubt that.
Look at the beautiful stonework. I mean, this fountain, they certainly put some effort into this.
I
Wow.
love it. I love the sidewalks to each room.
I like how it kind of ties the whole property, it seems like,
Yeah,
together.
I love that the 5 bedrooms are separate buildings because after all, it forces you to spend more time outside. Yeah. Look at this view.
Wow.
This is beautiful. I really love the wood.
There's actually 5 bedrooms like this on the entire island.
All with the same finish out and the same.
All with the same finishes. You've got the travertine floors, marble. You've got these amazing windows that really, really protect you from the elements in case it gets too windy or, God forbid, it rains.
That is amazing.
Why don't we check out the view from the balcony? You'll see you can't see any of the other bedrooms. It's very private.
Let's do it.
See? What do I say?
You're right. The view's amazing.
You want it to be close to Placencia. See, we got downtown Placencia right there, and then you've got open ocean.
This is breathtaking. Look at the color of the water.
The view's amazing. I love the fact that you can look at town, the sailboats, and wow.
I love it. I love the finish out of this island.
Yeah, you were concerned about a project taking too long.
This definitely solves that problem.
Yeah,
The timeline is definitely an attractive feature.
I was really picturing a bigger island and something closer to the reef, so it'll just be some food for thought to make a decision.
let's get back to the boat. Let's check out some more islands.
Let's do it.
You weren't expecting this.
No, it's much bigger than it looks from the outside.
Dallas-based real estate developers Kathy and David want to own and operate a vacation resort off the coast of Belize.
So one of the great benefits of Belize is you get the best of everything. You have diving, the reef's amazing, but you can also go into the jungle easily. With all the amazing activities there are in Belize, it's the perfect destination to have a high-end private island resort.
Armed with a budget of up to $7 million, David, Kathy, and island expert Chris Crollo have set sail. They've already toured Little Harvest Caye, which delighted Kathy with its designer touches and unique features.
I can see myself right there with a beverage looking at this view. It's just beautiful. That is not something you see on a lot of private islands in Belize.
For their next tour, Chris is taking the pair to North Saddle Caye, a larger island with a protected lagoon.
North Saddle Caye.
This is beautiful.
This island is 4 acres in size. It has almost 12,000 square feet of living space. The current owners spared no expense. We're talking desalination system, solar system. We're completely off-grid here.
So how much, Chris?
So the asking price is $6 million,
As is?
as is. All 4 buildings are pimped out. There's a huge lagoon as we pulled in. You could park a 120-foot yacht there, no problem. Wait till you see this. When you get inside, you're going to be amazed.
It's so open and spacious. It's much bigger than it looks from the outside.
What about the finishings?
They're beautiful. Everything is high, high quality. And what about this door? How big is that?
You've got literally wall-to-wall glass doors. It's one of 4 identical bedrooms.
Wow.
I love it. I love the view from the bed. I love the high ceilings again.
You know, usually I say the bedrooms can be small because you're not going to be spending a lot of time in them on an island, right? You're going to be outside. But geez, it feels like you're already outside.
And it has air conditioning, which again for rentals is a must.
This wraparound deck, it's almost as big as the inside.
It's large, very large. Chris, you know, outdoor decks like this cost as much almost to build as indoor space.
Yeah, I know we're missing that big palapa area, but this area out here makes up for it, I'd say.
It really does.
So, the first little guest house, again, this is one of two of them, 4 buildings on the whole island. The deck's a little smaller, but nothing wrong with a small deck, right?
Wow, this is just beautiful also. Nice high ceiling still.
Yeah, a little smaller,
Definitely smaller.
but the finishes are still the same standards as the other 2 large villas. It's got the kitchen, it's got a beautiful eating area, living room, 2 bedrooms. I mean, it's got everything you need.
I see how this works for a family, but I do wonder about it for a rental. That one being so much higher, this one would have to rent a lot less. So operating as a hotel kind of makes me a little bit nervous.
So I saved the best for last. This lagoon, it's 40 feet deep. See how calm the water is? We are minutes from the reef. This is impossible on most of the other islands. So you can snorkel, you can swim, you can water ski. You could bring in a 120-foot yacht. David, your boat over there is looking awful tiny right now.
Chris, come on now. Well, with all around it, I mean, the reef and stuff, I can see that's a possibility down the road, for sure.
I don't like that we're so far from Placencia, but I do love this lagoon and the finish outs, the way the houses are constructed up to such high standards. I'm also a little worried about these smaller buildings versus the larger ones, but I'm sure there's a workaround to that.
I think what we've got here is perhaps the nicest island in all of Belize. Look at that white powder sand, huh?
Very nice.
So beautiful.
Kathy and her husband David are on the hunt for an island off the coast of Placencia, Belize. They've budgeted up to $7 million for their purchase and have already toured 2 islands. Little Harvest Caye was newly developed on 1.5 acres, located just a mile from Placencia.
Love the location. That's really would make for a fun trip to be able to go into town at a moment's notice.
Though North Saddle Caye featured 4 bungalows on 4 acres, it was a bit further out from the coast.
I don't like that we're so far from Placencia, but I do love this lagoon and the finish outs, the way the houses are constructed.
For their 3rd and final tour, Chris, David, and Kathy have traveled to Moho Caye, a largely untouched island that's ripe for development.
Welcome to Moho Caye.
Wow, Chris, you definitely delivered the beach, didn't you?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
You see the screensavers, you see the postcards. Sorry, this here is the real deal.
Definitely a screensaver shot.
4.5 acres. This island has about 3,000 feet of beachfront. 3/4 of it, white, sandy powder beach, which you can see for yourself right from here.
You definitely delivered my beach.
You've got your own house reef, probably one of the only islands in all of Belize with their own house reef and a beach like this. 4.25 million.
Okay.
So for what you're trying to do, you're probably gonna go over budget with this one, with the development, but this is one of a kind. So let's go check it out. Sorry, David, this time your boat's too big. We're gonna have to get into the dinghy to get over to the island.
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it. Moho Caye, it's probably the most pristine, beautiful island on the market in Belize today. It's also smack dab in the middle between Placencia and the reef. So Kathy wanted location. It doesn't get any better than this. You have to take your shoes off for this, huh?
Absolutely.
Like, seriously? Look at that white powder sand, huh?
Very nice.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I think what we've got here is perhaps the nicest island in all of Belize. The fact that you've got $7 million to spend is pretty amazing too. And you know what? I think by the time you finish development, you're not going to be that far off that number. So this here is the perfect building site. You've got a great view out to the open water. You're not going to have to cut down any trees.
But couldn't we build closer to the beach?
Well, you could, but then that chunk of the island would probably erode away. So they've got setback laws here in Belize, like in all countries. It's about 66 feet, and that marker right there, that's pretty much where you could start building, right?
Okay.
But it's not a problem because, I mean, you still get a beautiful open view, right? You're facing the reef, so, you know, you have a little bit more protection.
I think it looks good. There's certainly a lot of room that you can expand and put your main resort center in.
I actually have some architectural renderings. Why don't we head over to the palapa, then I can, you know, give you some ideas of what you could do here.
Let's
Yeah.
have a look at them.
All right, let's do that.
Let's see what you got, Chris.
You can do pretty much anything you want, right? And obviously this is just a suggestion. What I really like about this design, it's very modern.
I think this is a really great idea. It would be a great use of this island, the flat elevation, the views from all around.
And then for the brochures, on the inside of the house,
A little more Belizean, a little more
Local hardwood.
flair.
yeah, bring some of the outside inside. You have lots to think about. Look at this. I don't see another building in sight.
I love the reef right here on the point of the island.
Your own private island with your own reef.
You can't ask for much more than that, can you?
Yeah, look at the color of the water. See, obviously, where it hits dark blue, that's where the water depth goes boom.
I can't imagine a whiter sand either. I mean, we said we wanted a nice beach from the start, and this is about as
Yeah.
nice as it gets. The one negative that I see is that it's a little bigger than, maybe more than we were expecting for our first island project. So that scares me a little bit.
But I mean, you've built here before, so if anybody can develop moho, it's you.
Well, I would agree with that.
Well, let's head back to the boat. You got lots to think about.
Let's get going.
Now that they've toured 3 of the most beautiful islands off the Belizean coast, David and Kathy have a tough decision ahead. Want to get away? Find design ideas inspired by the islands at hgtv.com/islandhunters. Husband and wife David and Kathy own and operate several vacation homes in Belize, but now they're ready to upgrade their portfolio and buy their own private island. They've budgeted up to $7 million for the purchase and have already toured 3 unique properties. Little Harvest Caye is listed at $2.25 million. Even though the island was the smallest of the 3 properties toured, its suites would require only minor finishing touches before moving in. At $6 million, North Saddle Caye was home to 4 bungalows ready for paying guests. Although the structures lacked consistency in terms of their size and layout, all 4 featured incredible views. And finally, Moho Caye is priced at $4.25 million. Though the cost of developing and building a resort from scratch might run over David and Kathy's budget, it would allow the couple to build a resort to their exact specifications. With these options in mind, it's time for David and Kathy to decide which island is right for them.
So let's talk about Little Harvest Caye.
When we first rolled up, it may have seemed a little small, but once you got on it, the buildings were all separated. I liked how the fountain kind of tied everything in. The swimming pool I thought was amazing, overlooking the beach with the mountains in the background.
Yeah, seeing it almost finished like that, I saw tons of little things that I would do if it were mine.
The other thing I liked about it is having city water and the solar power where there is no light bills, because as you know, that's probably our biggest expense.
Yes, definitely. It was really set up to open up within a few months.
I agree.
North Saddle Caye was really beautiful. I love the shape of that island. I love the lagoon within the island. Those buildings were beautiful, well finished.
I think the one negative is that what are we really trying to do with it, right? If it's going to be a resort, what does it need?
The 2 buildings that were so glamorous and the 2 that were so basic, that really doesn't work for rentals.
It would seem like we definitely had conflicting kind of product out there, right? A lot of money would need to be spent still on top of already top of our price range budget, right?
It was at the top of our price range. Moho Caye was one of the prettiest spots I've ever seen in Belize.
That picturesque scene when we came in on the boat, I mean, wow, postcard, right?
Yeah, it was like rolling up on a screensaver. It was so beautiful.
As a builder, developer, you have the perfect blank canvas to do something truly amazing out there. I think my biggest concern, though, is that I would really want to do something that was perfect. Unfortunately, to do that requires a large amount of money.
I think you could make an amazing 5-star destination, but it is going to be over our budget for sure. As cute as the 2 guest cottages are, North Saddle Caye really doesn't work for our plan. I think it'd be really hard to market with the disparity between the 2 rooms and just the distance from town and the price. It was a little high.
Probably need to rule that one out. What do you think?
Yeah, it had some factors that just don't make it work for us.
What do you think? Moho Caye and Little Harvest Caye.
You know, it's just two totally different options. I know you're really excited about Moho Caye. I can picture it too, but that's a big project, a lot of money, a lot of logistics, and this is our first time doing something on an island.
They are different, but I think for us, Little Harvest Caye is definitely the way to go.
It's safe, it's really cool. We could make something really great there.
I agree. Little Harvest Caye it is.
All right, we're buying an island.
Cheers. Well, we are glad to be sitting on Little Harvest Caye.
This turned out so well. We're so excited. It's such a beautiful island. The buildings are so beautiful and well constructed. When we first looked at the island, it was under construction still. It was a work in progress. I really love this project. We've come up with some great touches using the local artists and local furniture. We have carved doors which match keychains and decors in the room. It's gonna be just really great when a guest shows up here or our friends. And you can say, oh, you're staying in the Jaguar room and you're staying in the Manatee room. It's just a cool touch that we were able to put out here on the island.
Every room on the island truly is a master suite. I think now that the island is complete, the local people and the tourists have really noticed it. It's kind of right here where most of the boats come by when they're going out from the lagoon. I think we're both very happy we made the decision to buy Little Harvest Caye.
It's just beautiful here and everything has turned out so perfectly and exactly the way we wanted it.
We were looking at doing something on the island primarily from an investment standpoint, but I have to admit, it has really been cool kind of wake up and say, wow, I actually do have an island and we're able to stay out here and enjoy it.